Hello again, everyone, and welcome to this edition of One-on-One. I'm Martin Falson. We've had some interesting people over the years. You won't want to go away because Mr. Hugh Caffery has a very unique life. He could have taken many roads along the way. He chose the right roads. Now, he'll admit he chose some wrong roads, but then eventually he got back on the right road. So when we come back, we'll hear about his life right here on One-on-One. One-on-One is brought to you by the Law Office of Waits and Downer. Putting things together through Tipitina's. Doesn't John George?
He might be. On Chaptula Street.
Sam Barth.
Yes. Yes.
You were Sam Barth.
Right. He was there. He was younger than I. His brother was a class under me, and he
was
died.
A quarterback too. One of them. I saw him at Don's funeral. At least one of his brothers was a quarterback.
Yes, his older brother.
Yeah, older brother.
He had two. One was a little younger than me, and he died unfortunate accident when he was young.
So Sam Barth has put out some good product.
Yeah.
Yeah, good product.
Yeah.
Ever since the fingers in the chest must have worked.
Right. I mean, you had to be tough.
Yeah.
There wasn't any whining. If you did something wrong in classes all around the big gym, and then there was the office, well, you'd be sent to the office. And in shop class, we made paddles. Well, Sam used that paddle, and he put you over his knee, and he put the microphone right there, and he whacked you on the PA system. So what kind of person you were.
Can you imagine doing that today? You'd have about 30 personal injury attorneys in the room. Times have changed.
They have.
Have you changed with the times? Obviously, you took over a business that was pretty old-fashioned but successful.
Right.
But you said you had to bring it into the times at one point during this interview.
Yes. Was
that easy?
No. I mean, one foot followed the other, just put one foot in front of the other and just I wanted to serve people, find out what we could do. And we were contract manufacturer for Georgia Pacific when I first came. And so after we sold the Allied business, I focused more on that and found people, hey, what do you need? Is this something we can do for you? People in the chemical business. And just through God's grace, found a few ways that I could serve. And we got more equipment, and that's how we kind of built the business.
You come across as just a brilliant business person, but you had schooling in other areas, but you had a lot of practical experience learning how to weld and pipe fit and do different things. But where'd you get your business skills from? Or maybe were you just a better salesperson than a business person, or maybe just a mixture of both?
I don't know how to say that, Martin, but I was always wanted to save my money. I always wanted to have more money than I needed. So I remember this piggy bank that I think somebody gave me when I was 5, maybe it was my mom. And you put quarters in the slot, and I loved to pick it up and shake it, and to know that if I needed it, it was there. Just wanting to have more money than I needed. And how do you get that? Well, you save it.
Yeah.
And
did you ever break that piggy bank?
No, but if you turn it upside down and you take a pencil in, because it had holes in the legs, you could get those quarters out. Yeah. And so I found out all of a sudden it was lighter, and I found that my brothers and sisters were sneaking those quarters back out of there.
The reason I'm laughing, we did the same thing. You turn it upside down and shake it till that quarter comes in the slot.
That's right.
And then you get a little knife or something and
get it out. Yeah.
That's funny stuff, though. But it just seemed to all have worked for you. Do you believe in purpose or fate? Seems like you could have went, if your grandfather didn't pull you back in, where would you be?
Oh, man. I hate to think when you go left when you should have gone right. All the things that, again, I mean, it's divine because God leads you through things. And a lot of times I didn't pay attention to that, and more I've tried to, because I know that, say, wisdom is fear of the Lord, and not fear of man. So many times I was fear of man or fear of the way I come across. That's fear of man, and that's foolish, whereas fear of the Lord, reverence and respect for the Creator. I think, the times that I went in the right direction were out of that.
Has success driven you more? Is it the exuberance of success, or is it the fear of failure that drives you more? I've asked athletes that question before, and they go, I hate to fail. What was it for you?
Gee whiz, I could feel both. Man, when something's going wrong, I just get energized. I'm not going to let that happen,
Right.
And sometimes it does anyway, but I hate to see something bad happen. But we got a big purchase order yesterday, and just the joy of that, the accomplishment of getting a sale is tremendous too. So I think it's both.
Yeah. Were you a born salesperson?
Oh, no, not at all.
Learned process.
Yes, I'm still learning.
You had, after you set the hair on fire, you had to sell yourself out of that deal.
That's right. How I got out of that without a paddle, because I don't remember getting paddle, but, I was
My friend
right.
gave me this thing. I didn't know if he pushed the button, it would have a flame come out. Yeah, so you always have to get out of it.
For all of your cases, including those with catastrophic significance, call Waits and Downer Law Firm.
Just to give you an opportunity to tell us about some of the things you're involved in so that the audience can sort of get a sprinkling of what you're doing.
For 15 years now, with some very good people. I've been the chairman of the Bayou Lafourche Freshwater District. And the whole effort there is to bring more water to the people who came here because of that water. And then we say there's 300,000 people who get that fresh drinking water in their lives, in their houses, in their businesses. And that effort, I just came in 2009, but that effort's been ongoing for many years. We have a 1955 vintage pump station with 4 pumps that produces about 500 cubic feet a second, which is about 200,000 gallons a minute. And that's not nearly enough for our bayou. By the way, the river is about 1.5 million cubic feet per second, just to give you a relation. So it's pumped in Donaldsonville from the river. And I didn't know that we got our water from a pump. Bayou is pumped, and I found out. And then I got the honor to be on this commission. It's 12 members. It's 4 from Lafourche, 4 from Terrebonne, who joined about 5-6 years ago. 2 from Assumption and 2 from Ascension. And the state has provided about $200 million to this project. We have a project Sea Level as our contractor building a pump station that will have 3 times as much water. So 1,500 cubic feet a second.
Richard's another guy who's been very successful. And you mentioned CFS. You're the only person I've ever heard mention CFS besides Gordy Dove.
Yeah.
He loves that CFS, He lives thinking about CFS.
Yeah, he's such a treasure.
Haven't you got just such a deeper appreciation when you start talking about water?
Oh my God, yeah, we made, 80% water is our body, and water is life. Without water, we don't live for very long. Yeah. So, and it's so important to have fresh, what we call it raw water that comes out of the river, but have these 6 water plants that the main one in Terrebonne, 100,000 people are drinking off of. It gets all its water from Bayou Lafourche at the Lafour Bypass Canal. And that is just such a joy to be involved in this project that's going to ensure fresh water for the future for Bayou. You remember the Hurricane Gustav.
Oh, yeah.
Black water out of the bayou.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I remember them all.
Yeah.
Gustav was a pretty good one, but Ida was.
Ida was
renamed them all.
Yeah, but we had taken a lot of the trees that were about to fall already taken out of the bayou by that time because we've been on an aggressive campaign for old trees. But Ida left a lot of trees in the bayou too, and we had to clean them out.
I always joke for Lafourche people, always say, without us, y'all wouldn't get water.
Yeah.
But it's true. I mean, the parishes have a unique sharing of a lot of different things, especially Bayou Chene. Look at all the parishes that were involved in that. So that's why it's paramount that we work together.
It is, and we've got this Morganza to the Gulf system that's unfolding in our lives, and heroes like Tony Alford and Corey Keefe and Dwayne Bourgeois. I mean, these are unsung heroes who are providing the know-how and the expertise to get the federal money. Well, it's really our money we're getting back, right?
That's correct.
Taxes we've already paid, but it's also local money that's building this beautiful levee system, and it needs to be coordinated so that we got hundreds of pump stations. Mm-hmm. And whether it rains or we get a hurricane, we need to either pump out, let out water, or keep water from coming in.
It's really going to be a model
It's
for
a model.
President Trump when he gets into to showcase, like we used to tell Garrett Gray, we're saving so much money from flooded homes now. We had 12,000 homes in previous storms, especially roaring through, and in the last hurricane there was none.
That's amazing.
And so all the money we've saved on floods, why can't the federal government give us half of that back?
Right, we are saving a heck of a lot. And the disruption of those lives, think of that. I mean, we saw that in Ida, all those homes that got destroyed because of the wind. But and heroes like, I'm thinking Wendell Curall, if Ida had overtopped the South Lafourche levees, which it came very close to doing, but his good work and the work of the South Lafourche Levee District prevented that. And I mean, those kind of things, that would have been a disaster.
We had a camera on that Lafourche, on the Golden Meadow floodgate.
Yeah.
And I had a window on the phone, and I said, Window, how high is that weld mark where y'all added the gate? He said, well, Martin, I was at 11 feet. We added 5 feet. So I said, he goes, where's it at now? Is that the weld mark? I said, no. It's at the top of the 5 feet y'all added. It's at 16 feet. He was in another place, and that telemetry had gone down.
Yeah.
So he was relying on us, and I'm going, it's at the top.
Wow.
So if they don't do that, it's a whole different story.
God.
For all of your cases, including those with catastrophic significance, call Waits and Downer Law Firm.
You found yet another passion.
Yeah, to secure this system and be part of this team that's even the Morganza to the Gulf levee system and floodgate system and pump system. And Nichols, Dr. Clunes hired this balanced media, which is a artificial intelligence coordination system and we're going to need that, Martin, to all these different inputs and pumps and motors and gates have to be coordinated instantly, because when you get an event, you can't think about it and study about it. You got to react.
In the coastal building, going to be right next to the baseball field at Nichols. That's exciting.
It is, to see what that thing can produce.
We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
As we wind the show down, all of the philanthropy stuff that you've done for the colleges, what's the joy for you in that? What does that do for you?
Fletcher's got about 2,000 students, and there's 60,000 in our community that should be going there. To see that I had some small part in adding to, I mean, we have this house of fire named Christine Strickland, who you know well. We're so lucky to have her. She is just a dynamo.
Yeah, she's a gem.
Yeah.
No doubt.
To see her empowered and her ideas fleshed out and, realized. I mean, who's going to start a drone school or a lineman school that she started? Just out of the blue, she comes up. Just to see that, because those 60,000 people that should be going to Fletcher, whose lives would be improved, because there's this 4-letter word that I want to use that makes all the difference between our life here on earth and our godly home, and that is jobs. A good job. Somebody has a good job that they believe in, like you have a wonderful job here and the people that work here. Providing that job, those jobs, it's what Fletcher Nichols is all about, training them to be producers in this wonderful society and community. But being part of that is that's a joy to be a part of that, seeing that growth, and so much more to do. It's not even funny.
Yeah, you've been a interesting guest. It's interesting to learn people's different avenues. You've had quite a few roads you could have turned down, and,
Yeah.
and then you go to Tipitina's, and your fate changes again. And look, she's quietly sitting over there. As a matter of fact, she's taping you on her phone as you're doing the interview. But that's always good to see when the partners are invested too, and I know y'all invest together. But if I went to your wife and were able to get your grandparents back, and I was able to talk to a lot of people who worked at Valentine over the years, or went to Nichols, went to Fletcher, went on these boards, you know, where y'all tried to help with water control and different things throughout and I said, give me one word that would describe Hugh. What would you hope the one word they would use would be?
Curious.
Well, coming from an engineer, I think curious would be a good one.
Yeah.
If I may add a little thing, just in talking to you, I think you've always embraced opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't say opportunistic in a bad way. I say it in a good way because you've seen it.
Yeah.
You can latch. You see it. Some people see opportunity right in front of them, and they never grab it. But you've sort of seen it and followed your instincts. So you must have pretty good instincts.
Well, just what somebody needs, you can see that. If somebody has something that they don't have, they want, and they need it for fulfilling their life, just look and you can see it. The times that I've been able to see it has been joy to be able to fulfill some need. You know, we've got a product for the oil field where we improve production by 20%, recovery for the oil by 20%. In the shales, West Texas, et cetera, there's about 7 shale basins in the U.S. And man, to see them use that product and the return they can get from it, that's a tremendous joy.
What are you not involved in?
Oh,
You're involved in a lot of things.
yeah.
You're on boards, you know, that deal with our water control. You're on boards for universities. You're developing new things for the oil field. What's the future look like for you?
I hope it's like people say about a funeral. What do you want people to say when you're laid out there, you know, that you live a good life? I said, I wanted people to say, hey, he's still moving.
That would be the ultimate, right? Yeah, that would be better than burning somebody's hair in chemistry class or whatever class you in.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for all you've done for the community, because you have done a wonderful job of spreading out and sharing your wealth and trying to give people a kickstart. And I'm glad I read that release from Fletcher when they sent it, because it kickstarted me. But just thank you so much for what you do for the community.
And you too, Martin. Thank you for the opportunity to be here with you.
All right.
For all of your cases, including those with catastrophic significance, call Waits and Downer Law Firm. This one-on-one program has been brought to you by the law offices of Waits and Downer.